Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I'm here to review A Wishful Life from the Fairly Odd Parents. I know, how original, right? How original. Everyone's pretty much talked about this episode. But I figured I'll go ahead and talk about it so I can increase my reviews. But before I get into the video and review this episode, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you for the people who are supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Now let's get into the review. Alright, this is A Wishful Life. This is an episode that premiered in May 10th, 2005. I had to make sure it was right because that seems a bit early, considering Fairly Odd Parents came out in 2001. And this is in 2005, and this is the 5th season, but I guess it says 2005, so I don't know. Now, the date's wrong, sorry, but I was researching it, and, that's what I found. Also, fun fact, this episode is based off of a 1946 film, Grateful Life or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, I already forgot what it was called, I didn't even know that. I just found that out looking for the release date. I found that out. If you go on Google and type in release date for this episode, and you click on like which episode of the Fairly Odd Parents has Timmy wish he's never born, it'll mention that. So that's interesting. But overall, this episode is not very good at all. This one's actually a mess. This is actually a mess. I'm gonna talk about it. I know many other YouTubers have talked about it. Even Jim talked about it on his channel, including Mr. Enter. So there's quite a bit of YouTubers who've talked about this episode. But I figured I might as well talk about it too. Basically, the episode starts off with Timmy doing good deeds, but apparently no one appreciates them. Everyone in this episode is a freaking asshole. Like, seriously, everyone in this episode is a fucking asshole to Timmy. Timmy does these great deeds, and everyone just bitches and moans about him screwing something up. Like Mr. Whatever his name is, the teacher who has dreams. Apparently he bitches about Timmy, painting his, stage and not making the clouds perfect, and they're too puffy or something. And then Timmy, uses his own money. I guarantee it's his own money. I'm not sure he could have wished for a computer, but I think this might have been his own money, and he bought AJ a fucking computer only for AJ to toss it out because AJ's a fucking asshole too. And then Timmy decides to help out Timmy's parents by doing the lawn and stuff. But guess what? Apparently it's not good enough because Timmy made Timmy's mom's butt too big, even though it doesn't look that bad. And then basically Timmy's dad, upset because it's supposed to be the worst long, This is just so stupid. This episode freaking starts off pretty bad, and it gets worse as time goes on. So Timmy's fed up with everyone's bullshit, so he decides to wish that he was never born, And I gotta say, I do kind of like the looks to the world that he doesn't exist in. It doesn't look much different, but I like the mansion and stuff. And I guess Timmy's mom and dad have a daughter now who's successful. So basically, this episode is gonna shit on Timmy. It's gonna be shitting on Timmy for, being a horrible person, even though he did all this shit to make them happy. And, so basically I mentioned how Timmy's dad and mom, have a daughter who's successful. And then, AJ has hair because I guess Timmy, stressed AJ out to where he went bald at age 10. And then, I think he's age 10. I don't know, because he had a birthday, so he could have been age 11. But still, that's so stupid how he went bald because of Timmy. And then I guess Crocker is a professor now because he's a professor now because Timmy wasn't around to ruin his life. Even though Cosmo is the one who originally ruined Timmy's life. He's originally the one who ruined, not Timmy, I mean Crocker's life, not Timmy. Timmy ended up ruining his life because he's the one who went back in time. But originally it was Cosmo that ruined, Crocker's life. So Timmy had nothing to do with Crocker, being obsessed with fairies. And then I guess Chester I can understand. That I can get that because Chester, is the second most miserable character on the show. Unless you maybe count Tootie, but Chester is poor and doesn't have a lot of money and stuff, so I could totally see Cosmo and Wanda going to Timmy. I mean, going from Timmy to Chester. I can totally see that. Heck, even the last episode I reviewed, it stated that. So I could totally, it showed that, the Fairy Idol episode, so I could totally see Cosmo and Wanda going to Chester's, but everything else does not make any sense because like basically, there's even segments where Francis is not a bully and Vicky is a nice person, even though Francis has bullied several other kids, and Vicky has, tortured other kids too, so clearly it's not just, just Timmy. So this episode is freaking shitting on Timmy for doing absolutely nothing wrong, and the episode wants you to freaking hate him, even though he's done nothing wrong throughout this entire episode. All he tried to do was do favors for people. People freaking bitched at him for screwing little things up. And, screwed little things up, but he tried his best. That's what's supposed to matter, but I guess it's not good enough. And then even in the afterworld, it makes absolutely no sense for most of the characters, except for Chester, to have happy lives, because, everyone else freaking, their lives don't make any sense because, I don't know, I think it's just so stupid. But yeah, it's just so stupid how they like shit on Timmy and stuff in this episode. And at the end, apparently, the whole lesson of the episode, according to Jorgen, because Jorgen's in the episode too, the whole point of the episode is that you're not supposed to do good deeds because you want to be appreciated. You're supposed to do them because it makes people happy or something. I don't know what it was. I forgot. Sorry, my cat was trying to get in my food. But yeah, basically this episode, the whole message is so stupid because it's okay to do favors for people sometimes. It's all right to make them feel appreciated. It's good. You want to be felt appreciated. Sometimes it's good to do good deeds, just to help someone out. But sometimes it's nice to have someone, thank them and stuff. And Timmy did all of this without expecting any reward. So he was doing this just to be, nice. And it's just, it's so stupid though how they treat Timmy in this episode. This one's definitely a bad episode. This is definitely bad. It's not as bad as the last episode I reviewed. That was bad. In season 4, but it's still bad. It's still just really bad, and it's very confusing. It's gonna leave the audience, confused at what the hell is going on in this episode, because freaking Timmy, again, is doing all this stuff to be nice, while everyone else is bitching and moaning because he's screwed something up, even though he did his best, and that's all that matters, that you did your best. And then the freaking the afterlife world, or the world where he doesn't exist, apparently shits on Timmy for being by making him look like a bad guy, and he ruined everyone's lives. Even though, like I said, Crocker is his life was ruined by Cosmo, which makes me wonder why Cosmo is even a fairy godparent at this point, but hey, I don't know. And then we got Vicky. She's supposed to be a mean babysitter. She didn't just bully Timmy; she bullied other people too. Remember back in season 2, there was a Aurora episode where they were skateboarding and stuff. Vicky bullied everyone in that park, not just Timmy. So it's not just Timmy she bullies, she even bullies her sister too. So clearly it's not just Timmy. But it's not just Timmy though, and I just think it's just so stupid. This episode's just so dumb, and I definitely don't think it's that good of an episode. It's definitely bad, and I'm gonna give it a score real quick. Between 0 and 120, this episode, is getting 25 points. 25 points. Now, the reason why I'm giving it 25 points and not lower is because I do like the afterworld a little bit. I do like, the atmosphere. Like, I do like the... And I guess I think it's funny that Jorgen von Strangle is, dressed as the Grim Reaper or something. I don't know what Timmy said, but overall, this episode is just so confusing. It's more confusing than... It's frustrating too, but it's more confusing than frustrating. Because none of it makes sense, and it feels like the writers who wrote this episode had no experience with the Fairly Odd Parents at all, because a lot of the stuff, that happened in this episode, and the afterlife and stuff with the characters, and Timmy ruining their lives, doesn't make any sense, because like I mentioned multiple times, that Timmy, wasn't the only one to get bullied by Francis and Vicky, and Crocker did not get his life ruined by Timmy. All this stuff happened by other people. So, well, Timmy get bullied by Vicky and Francis, but they've also bullied other people. And then Crocker, his life was ruined by Cosmo originally, so it wouldn't have mattered. I know they brought it up, but it doesn't matter because I don't know. I guess the whole point of this episode is to basically, show the audience that Timmy's actually miserable, but we already know he's miserable. We already know that. And the fact that he freaking, again, shit on his character and make everyone assholes in this episode just freaking ruins the episode. I definitely would give this episode a skip, and I don't think it's the worst in the first 5 seasons. I don't think it's the worst. I know Jim put this episode on his top 10 worst episodes for good cartoons list instead of Phantom Strider, but I think Phantom Strider put it on his list. I can't remember. Because it's been about a month since I've seen that video, but but I know Jim did that. But I don't think it's as bad as like there's other episodes I find worse than this one. But still, I think, you know, for the first 5 seasons, I think this episode's still pretty bad for that time being. And I know there will be worse episodes coming down the road, but for the first 5 seasons, this one's definitely not very good either. So I don't know. Anywho, tell me what you guys think about this episode. Do you guys think it's the worst episode from this the first 5 seasons, or do you think there's one's worse than this? I think there's one's worse than this. Like I mentioned in my last review for season 4, that episode was bad. So I don't know. It was worse than this, but I don't know. But tell me what you guys think about that. And I don't have a comment question this time around, so no comment question. So sorry, but no comment question this time around. But it's not like a lot of people are answering them right now anyway, so I don't think I'm missing out too much. But I don't know. Anywho, I'm gonna let this go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button and stay tuned for more reviews on the Fairly Odd Parents. Anywho, bye.